You are now listening to the sounds of Dr. B's Spot, a production of Bowden Enterprise Services, LLC. Join the podcast where love and life topics are discussed surrounding spiritual connection, relationships, finance, and becoming a better you through elevation. And now, here's your host, spiritual advisor and behavioral health clinician, Dr. B.
Welcome back to another session of Dr. B's Spot, Love and Life. I'm your host, your spiritualist, your intuitive healer, Dr. B. We are back in business and back in action, back with the truth and back with the fire, and back with the words your spirit didn't know it even needed. Now, today's topic is called What You Build After You Leave. Segment 1 is starting with The Departure. See, in season 4, episode 9, that was the last episode before this one, I told you about the moment when they claw at the door, but you already left the room. That was about courage. Courage to walk away from spaces and people and energies that no longer served your spirit. Sometimes that's the hardest part. Not leaving, but resisting the urge to go back and open the door. Just because the scratching is loud, leaving requires trust that what is behind you is no longer aligned with who you are becoming. But here's what many don't realize. Leaving is only half the story. The silence after you close the door can feel empty, almost unsettling. Yet, that silence is fertile ground. It's the blank canvas on which you begin to paint your next season. What you choose to build in that silence, what you plant, protect, and water on the other side of that door, determines the fruit you'll harvest. Leaving sets you free, but building determines whether you stay free. Segment 2. The bond was real, but so was my calling. Let's be honest. The bond was real. The laughter, the late night talks, the chemistry, the way your spirit touched theirs, that wasn't fake. Your heart knew something true existed there, and denying it only gaslights your own experience. It's okay to admit it mattered. It's okay to admit it was love, or it was friendship, or deep connections that left a mark. But so was your calling. The truth is, your calling has a voice that gets louder than the bond. Bonds can whisper comfort, but callings roar destiny. When the bond asks you to stay where it's safe, the calling demands you step where it's scared. Bond ties you to memory. You hear that? Bond ties you to memory. Calling pulls you toward legacy. Let me repeat that again because I want you to get it. Calling pulls you toward legacy. So when you left that room, you weren't erasing the bond. You were answering the higher summons. That shift may break hearts, but it saves souls, especially your own. Segment 3. The expiration dates. Every assignment, every connection, every bond has an expiration date. We can't avoid it. It's facts. It doesn't make the relationship fake. It makes it infinite. Just like food in the pantry, some bonds are good for a season, a reason, but not a lifetime. If you try to keep it past the date, it spoils. The very thing that once nourished you begins to rot in your spirit. Think about it. Milk that was fresh last week becomes sour today. You wouldn't drink it, even though you enjoyed it before. Yet many of us sip spoiled relationships out of habit, hoping to get the same sweetness, ignoring the time has passed. Leaving may feel like waste, but staying past the expiration date is far worse. Staying poisons your peace and robs you of tomorrow. But by leaving, You didn't just lose someone. You honored the truth that your spirit deserved fresh bread, not moldy crumbs. In segment 4, this portion is about assignment versus destination. Some people come into your life as assignments. They arrive carrying lessons. Some are soft teachers. Others are hard ones. Assignments sharpen you, test you, reveal your weaknesses, and sometimes break you open. But they are not supposed to stay forever. They are chapters, not the entire book. See, they're just chapters. Your book is still being written. Then there are destinations. Destinations are people who walk beside you in the future, who celebrate your growth instead of feeling threatened by it. Destinations recognize your light without trying to dim it. They don't compete with your anointing. They complement it. The mistake we make is trying to turn an assignment into a destination, trying to build a forever home in a temporary tent. When you left that room, you realized I had mistaken a stop for the finish line, but my destination is still ahead of me, waiting for me to arrive whole. Segment 5, let's talk about grieving who they never became. Here's the part that no one talks about. You're not just grieving the bond itself, you're grieving the person they never chose to become. You saw their potential. You saw what they could be if they stepped into healing, accountability, or faith. You saw greatness they refused to claim. And now your heart mourns not just who they were, but the version of them that only ever lived in your imagination. And that grief is real. We're not going to deny that. It deserves space. Don't minimize it, but don't drown in it either. Because grieving the version they never became frees you to fully embrace the version of yourself that is emerging. You are not responsible for someone else's refusal to evolve. You are only responsible for honoring your own evolution. When you grieve what never manifested in them, you release the weight of waiting and step forward lighter, clearer, freer. Let's get to segment 6. This is the ritual and the seal. Now, let's seal this with a simple practice. Wherever you are, pause and take 3 deep breaths. Come on, let's start. That's 1. That's 2. 3. Feel your body settle. Your chest expand, your spirit calm. Now place your hand over your heart. Speak this with me. I move in possession. I move in peace. Say it again, but slower this time. I move in possession. I move in peace. Feel how those words build a wall around you, not of bricks, but of spirit. That's your shield. That's your reminder that leaving wasn't loss. It was alignment. Every time you repeat it, you reinforce the new foundation you're building. Segment 7, tactical actions for you. So before I wrap up, let me give you 3 practical things you can do today. 1, it's a journal prompt. You write down 5 things you gave away in that bond that you want to reclaim. Your time, it could be your energy, money, peace, trust. Name those things. Name them. Just have 5 of them and be specific. Naming is reclaiming. I like that. Number 2, your administrative step is change 1 password of anything that you have, close 1 access point, or update 1 account. It sounds small, but it's symbolic. Every boundary you reinforce in the natural reflects a boundary in the spirit. Number 3, this is called your crowning log entry. So you're going to screenshot proof of your action and save it, document it. That's your spiritual receipt. That's your reminder you didn't just think about moving forward, you moved. When you stack these little steps, they become bricks in the house you're building after you left. Thank you for tuning in to Dr. B's Spot, Love and Life. I hope this message has reached you in a beneficial and divine way. If this episode resonated with you, please like and share it with someone who could use a fresh perspective. Until next time, be blessed with less stress. Much love, Dr. B, and I'm out.
Join us next time at Dr. B's Spot, where we dive into the real deal of love and life by tapping into your body, mind, and spirit. Don't forget to like, rate, and comment on each podcast that we drop. For all upcoming shows, reach Dr. B and all she has to offer on BowdenEnterprise.com and social media outlets under the moniker Bowden Enterprise Services. Peace and blessings to you and yours. We are out.